Hello, and welcome back to another episode of my Stellaris Let's Play. Now, um, I spent some time trying to look at the interface, trying to find, for the life of me, where population approval rating is displayed anywhere other than here in stability. And when you mouse over an individual pop group, which you can get an insane number of them, the happiness for them, does not appear to be at all easy to find. And you can't see easily how it's distributed up by strata. You know, workers, specialists, rulers, and what percentage of the political power each holds. That used to be easy to find right on the first bit of the screen, but instead whatever person redid this and their arrogance, vanity, couldn't be bothered to, I don't know, there's a nice spot right here where they could have added pop happiness level, but they didn't, because this update, the 4.0 changes are clearly half-baked. There's lots of room for improvement, to say the least. There is somewhere I can put a physics research station around this barren world. This time, I started with the engineering research station, which I don't think I did before with the earlier starts. I wasn't trying to save scum or anything, and in fact, by redoing things, I didn't get the 2 minerals from scrapping beer. 2 pathetic minerals. Core drawing array. Adds my max mining districts. Was already able to do mineral extraction focus. Beneath reinforced layers of stone and steel, drills chew through ancient bedrock to unearth the lifeblood of industry. Or, steady supply of minerals, both exotic and mundane, allows our engineers to experiment at a far more adventurous rate than most others. Yep. Specializations. But anyways, there's some problems. And that's definitely one of them. Another is how trade is listed. I guess the gain is the trade that's not converted to energy. But then you see trade policy, energy produced 11.52, consumed 23.04. It makes absolutely no sense. And if you look at the actual planets, 24 is produced here, 9 here. So, well, that's actually a reasonable value for the produced. But then, yeah, the interface is sheer nonsense. The way trade displayed doesn't make any sense, and I've seen people criticize it, and for good freaking reason. And it's not like the trade policy is the amount that's being converted into energy. No, I'm producing about 34 trade. That seems to be accurate, that much. Civilian jobs, 19, 20, 22. Worker, well, living standards, let's see. And then I think there's some base production. Just, no, they're not. Okay, so then these numbers don't really add up. Okay. 16 plus 4. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, okay, they do. So, 34 is the right amount for what I'm producing, but the trade policy amount doesn't make any sense. It says I'm losing says 23 is being directed in a trade policy, but if that was the case, I shouldn't be getting half that amount in wealth. Half instead, what's actually happening is that half of the trade of the 34 is being directed into creating energy instead. Looks like it's 11. So that makes even less sense. There's something screwy going on there. Stop paying 11 a month. The policy is trade policy is consuming 23 of these. Then why is it? The description here says half of our collected trade earns us energy credits, but at a ratio of 2 to 1 on top of it being half. And this isn't half. 23 is not half of 34. None of this makes sense. The whole system is screwy. There's things you can't see easily. There's UI stuff that's just... I mean, there's clearly systems working under the hood, and they might be working correctly, but the UI doesn't display things correctly. This is a half-baked release, and it's annoying that it wasn't refined more before. Which is part of why I delayed updating. I thought if, I delayed, then, the devs would have worked out all the problems. But no, stuff is still a total mess. Well, since I'm running an alloy deficit, I'm actually going to need to do an alloy foundry. Because Nate jobs are consuming too much. No reason to recruit another official or commander. Unifier scientist isn't terrible, but would be most useful governing a world, and I don't need another governor. I suppose I could bring this carefree guy in, but I'll probably just wait for the next set to roll in 5 game years, maybe? Nah, I can't wait that long to do a second science ship. No, what am I saying? But I will probably get my first tradition before or anyone. Waiting for the mineral price to change. Come down to 1.3 again. Stupid rounding. I'll probably set it just a monthly buy of 10 minerals. It's not worth it right now since... Oh, there we go. Got a lot of infrastructure to build. Can't even keep this up for many months, but since it's going -5, but at least a couple, I'm assuming. If this worked correctly, I should get 415 minerals next month. And go down to 21 trade. Unless it decides to round in a stupid way. Cool. And it set a max price, but it won't even do the purchase when I'm... That's annoying. Oh. Should have been enough to proc purchase and still go into negative for a while, but the game's not allowing it. Need this alloy foundry. Let's see. We have to alternate months on purchase here, so 2 more months of this, and it would be 45, 60, 90. Yeah, the goal is to get to 100 minerals for physics research quickly. Maybe I shouldn't bother. Maybe. Costs alloys to build districts on the habitat now? Well, maybe I'll set up some mines. Pick and axe are the foundation of civilized extraction. Right. Oh, wait. I could hire this guy and make him... Oh no, this doesn't affect him as accounts, or what am I saying? Eh. Why can't I hire this guy? Oh, just hasn't updated the screen. I should be able to actually do that purchase. Event, comet sighted. Small celestial object with pronounced gaseous and particulate tails was recently observed in the Hesek system. Its passing was uneventful. It is a good omen. Gain 40 uni. Comets show up in nearly every Paradox game. Some version of them. Illustrates how different different eras of civilization treated differently, I guess you could say. Let's see if this... Oh, there we go. That did work. Despite it tell me price is too high or low. Boom. Electricians available. Um, Unyielding and the defense resistance is frugal. Should still work with the squires now, producing defense armies and unlimited number of squires. Fortress habitat. So, unyielding is actually pretty good for the knights. And almost no one else. Probably get a preview. End up doing cloning if. Well, I've heard the clone bats don't work correctly in this version. Yeah, the ability to alter pop appearance. Oh, they had pop growth instead of assembly? Wait, that's stupid. That means you can't get around planet capacity issues with clone vats, which used to be you could use clone vats to get huge populations in the world. I mean, you can still keep reselling a bunch of pops have feeder worlds, but it just adds some micro with that. You're trying to really overstuff the planet. All right. Well, I probably want. What would I want? Where on earth is the harmony tree? They didn't get rid of it, did they? There we go. It's still pretty useful. Still, it's probably discovery. Chart the unknown. Faster survey speed.
Council agenda available.
Yep. Forget the agendas, but map the stars. Useful. Oh, shoot, this wasn't paying attention to science ship. It probably went right to the core of the system. Chart the unknown gives anomaly discovery chance and survey speed, so I'll probably be doing that soon. I forgot about the science ship. These don't stack because they don't have FDL drives. But they do add influence gain cheaply. So that's nice. I have the equivalent of 12 civilians, and they give like 16 trade value. Interesting. Interesting. I'm just considering whether this trade hub makes sense or not. It does allow me to have fewer civilians, and you need a certain amount of trade capacity. Whereas, pretty sure that just some technicians can cost effectively. This really should show produces not just the living standard thing. This UI is broken, right? Upkeep produces, but the way it produces is showing is actually from living standards, not here. You see the UI hasn't been designed correctly at all for the 4.0 update. But yeah, it's 7.5 energy per technician per 100 technicians, basically. So whereas the solar panel network replaces less than 100 technicians, this replaces a lot more civilians. Let me put the civilians to work as technicians. Right. Probably do this. More influence. No, then I'd run out of shoot, then I ran out of alloys. Yeah, I can put that off a little. Edicts. Yeah, so anyways, with my long COVID, I've done 3 videos today, which is like my limit usually today. This is my 4th video, and I've got a headache. I'm a little lightheaded, so I apologize if I'm not thinking the most clearly, speaking the most clearly here. It sucks. I'm obviously not playing optimally. Like I should have activated information quarantine earlier, as soon as I had the uni. Let's just grab this now. Peace Festival, same reason. I have all this needed upkeep. I should be using it. Variation of Saints. I guess map the stars, no reason not to. Every time I undo and redo it, it costs you. Shoot. Ah. Grr. I'm gonna go back a little bit. It's the last time I saved. It's right after I got the first contact thing. We did the leader assignments. Got this going. Purchase of minerals. Like the price of minerals came up, or Anyways. Might as well take the stability. Happiness. Increased output. Not really costing me anything yet. Could have already if I traded. I would still be short on minerals. Guess there's no reason to this. Already be at the amount either way. It's actually always I want. Once this price comes down. Oh. Just gonna actually wait in orbit here once they have. June 1st, I'm gonna survey all these worlds. See if I find an anomaly. Instead of rushing to find other nations through this nebula. Stop out trade so I can deal with my ally situation. Cost 26 trade by 5. Yeah, I need always for my first outpost eventually and ships, so I'll just stockpile those for now. Map the stars, starting with Sonok 4. Wait, how do you gain experience? This head of research. I also have questing nights, so I have higher anomaly discovery chance substantially than normal. Boom.
Council agenda available.
Know about the agenda. Faster surveying. Higher anomaly discovery chance. Boom. Oh yeah, shoot. I should have set that defense wars before. And impressive vassalage. This will make pacifists and authoritarians happier. By saying it earlier, I'll be able to change it later if need be. I don't have the factions yet, so it didn't cost me anything, but it's still dumb not to do that right away. Whatever. That's not a efficient pattern of... How is it so hard for the stupid game to figure out that the most efficient pattern is to kind of scan back and forth like a printer, usually, in terms of reducing travel time? Wasted travel time. Instead of going to one end of the system and then back, and like you'll see them go here, then here, then here, then here. That's the opposite of efficient. To go from one end to the other instead of scanning back and forth, moving minimal distance like this. uh, hmm. Maybe after this I actually will. Oh, well, just to see if I can find where there's a habitable world. I guess I should do that. But this star system, this can be a trade hub location. Since I don't have to worry about collecting the trade. It's useful from the start. And another trade hub. Give me extra trade, which can be used to buy alloys and minerals and stuff. Balance my airway economy a little better. Instead of get stuff I need desperately quickly instead of waiting till I have the infrastructure to produce stuff, jobs. Anyhow. Else the quest for a toxic god is proceeding very slowly. First stage to be reached in 176 months. Oh, I can buy some energy credits. Hmm. Let's do 30.
Construction completed.
Simple enough reason for that, and that is so I can queue up the removal of the sprawling slums here. Right after that way, boundary. Should add to population growth rate as well as add a pop. Actually, well, yeah, I'll add a civilian. Just waste would actually add maybe more to population growth rate if I'm already past the point where I'm not getting growth from pops anymore. The 2.83 number goes down, but civilians aren't useless. They do contribute more than they consume. Like 12 food and a consumer good into 19 trade, 604 amenities. Well, that's less amenities than they use, but I'm already at the menu cap. That happiness. So, yeah. Lift up people in the slums. Outpost costs 100 always. I think do this now. You have to buy a little bit in the way of alloys, but not much. Grim class Corvette. It doesn't let me rename. Yes. Basic class. No, it doesn't. Doesn't let me rename the existing Corvettes anyways. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting rid of this. New defense platform. Scapa Flow class defense platform. That's not a terrible thing. Oh, you can have a design that doesn't have any. I think you need a weapon though for piracy. Oh, there is no piracy suppression thing anyways. There we go then. Or just empty hangars for now, but later this can be turned into something that hosts, actual StarCraft stuff. Carrier operations next time it rolls. Which, basic StarCraft. They're quite decent. This would just be about pre-building defense platforms without anything actually on them. Or you know what? Yeah, Scapa Flow was where the British would put fleets very often that weren't seeing any real use. This is fine. Do an improved version later, upgrade version that has the actual craft on it, even if it's a scout wings. But I need this for this focus. Just gets the fleet support doctrine earlier. Stores, all that stuff. Won't need it for a while. But most stuff will be, pre-building, then upgrade in a hurry if a war breaks out. It's much slower to build the frame of a defense platform than to upgrade an existing one. Same thing with ships, to build just the whole of a ship. It's cheaper. Minimally armed ships that still do a little bit of tanking for better ships in a fleet. Though there are disadvantages enemies face when they have the larger fleet in a fight, which I lose those bonuses. So really, it's just ships that exist as a reserve. Rename these battle fleet 1. Unemployed. I thought they turned into civilians for time. That was supposed to be what happened. Being demoted. Alright. Where's his work being demoted? It doesn't say how long. The demotion time. That used to be readily visible. I'm hoping they'll add it to the civilian population. That was the whole point. Alright. $11, and this should drop to 27. Roughly. There's a little rounding. Cool. And just enough hours to continue running my deficit for a while. When the year rolls over, this should gain a little habitability on anchor. Cool. Expand the size of my reserve fleet, more influence income. Let's get some music for y'all. This time I actually sell a little more food, isn't it? quality air conditioning here is hard to even hear the game. So turn the volume just a little too low. Nutrition. Let's grab survey speed. Hey, we'll disengage. Chance my scientists may actually survive certain things. And then polytechnic education actually helps my empire leader and my governors level up, not just scientists. So beyond that, next. Science division, polytechnic education. But first, a new age of exploration is upon us. As we once mapped the surface of our homeworld, we must now brave new terrain. Space, this galaxy, full of wonders waiting to be discovered.